All right, buckle up because today's lineup is stacked. We've got Blumhouse adapting Something is Killing the Children, DC's Asylum series getting shelved, a massive wave of January comics coming in hot, a leaked first look at Batman and Wonder Woman's meeting in Absolute Universe. We got Colin Farrell starring in a wild new project from the creators of John Wick. Marvel is bringing back King in Black this week's top 5 comics, and Halo is finally breaking through the console walls. James Gunn's Superman is chasing Oscar Gold, and a cover price report that'll make every collector's drop. Let's get right into it. And hey, everybody, my name is Brian, and welcome back to Comic Issues Daily. All right, first story today, we got Blumhouse is officially bringing back Something is Killing the Children to life, or is bringing Something is Killing the Children to life twice over. They're developing both an animated series and a live-action film based on James Tynion IV's award-winning horror comic. The studio behind The Invisible Man and Paranormal Activity plans to channel that eerie, small-town dread that makes this series so memorable. Erica Slaughter, the monster-hunting heroine who protects kids from terrifying creatures adults can't see, is finally making her way to the screen. It's a perfect pairing of creator and studio. Tynion storytelling and Blumhouse's horror instincts are basically a match made in nightmare heaven. The adaptation also signals another major push from Boom Studios to expand its properties into film and TV. Between the series and the film, fans are already speculating whether one will explore more corners of Erica's world while the other dives into the main comic arc. If the Blumhouse nails the tone and gore just right, this could become their next big franchise. So what do you want first, the animated series or the live-action film? Drop your vote in the comments and hit that like button if you're ready for some monster-slaying mayhem. And speaking of dark corners of the DC universe, let's talk about Gotham. All right. Ray Fluke over at bleedingcool.com just confirmed the long rumored Arkham Asylum series isn't moving forward, at least not for now. DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn said it straight. It isn't something being developed by anyone right now. It just didn't work. That's tough news for Gotham fans because it's a project that has been through more rewrites than the Joker's origin story. It started in 2022 as Gotham PD, spinoff from Matt Reeves' The Batman, before shifting its focus to Arkham. Terrence Winters was the first writer attached, but leftover creative differences. Then Joe Barton took over before leaving when the direction changed again. Antonio Campos, best known for HBO's The Staircase, was the last to take a shot at as a writer, showrunner, and director, and then it all went quiet. There's been confusion over whether it was part of Reeves' Elseworld or the main DCU, but Gunn clarified that the project was one of the first pitches he and Peter Safran bought when they took over, meaning it was always planned for the main DCU. Meanwhile, Reeves' universe is thriving with the Penguin, which critics have loved, and both he and showrunner Lauren LeFane, or France, have teased wanting to explore even more corners of Gotham. So for now, Arkham isn't dead; it's just sleeping in a padded cell. So what do you think? Should Gunn bring back Arkham Asylum, or should Reeves expand his own Gothamverse? Let me know below. But while TV's taking a breather, the comic side of DC is kicking into overdrive. All right. And we got some DC comics for the January 2026 solicitations. Rich Johnson over at Bleeding Cool, again, dropped this massive DC Comics January 2026 solicitation, and this lineup is wild. We got DC KO #3, written by Scott Snyder and illustrated by Javier Fernandez, and it wraps up the Omega tournament in an all-out tag team finale. 8 fighters are left standing, each facing their own personal nightmare at the heart of apocalypse, awaiting its new ruler. Nightfall #3 by Joshua Williamson and Dan Mora pits Bruce Wayne against not one, but 2 of his former Robins, Jason Todd and Tim Drake, both now operating as Batman. And in Superman 34, Darkseid's plan succeeds. turning Earth into apocalypse itself while Superman remains trapped inside the tournament. If that wasn't enough, over in the Absolute Universe, Scott Snyder's Absolute Batman 16 sends Bruce on a desperate mission to save Killer Croc, while Kelly Thompson's Absolute Wonder Woman 16 kicks off Season of the Witch, where Zatanna's goal is nothing less than killing Diana. And rounding out the month, we got Supergirl, Next Door, #1, dropping a Valentine's anthology full of lighthearted love stories, starring DC heroes and villains alike. January is shaping up to be a month where everything from apocalyptic battles to heart-shaped storylines collide. What's going straight into your pull list? Tell me which one you're pre-ordering first. And since we're talking Season of the Witch, we might as well look at the magic that's already leaking out of Gotham. All right, excuse me. All right, we got our first look at, or from comicbookmovie.com, they dropped a leaked preview that gives us the first look at Batman and Wonder Woman meeting in the Absolute Universe in a brand new design for Zatanna. The images are gorgeous, showing intense lighting, shadowy composition, and Zatanna looking darker and more dangerous than ever. It's got that supernatural meets grounded realism feel that the Absolute titles have been known for. Fans are already just dissecting every panel to figure out what this means for the larger crossover. The tension between Bruce and Diana looks electric, and Zatanna's arrival in Gateway City sets the stage for conflict in Season of the Witch. It feels like we're on the edge of a major event. Team Batman or Team Wonder Woman? Who's your pick this time? Let's see those comments. And speaking of power moves, let's shift from superheroes to something a little more cinematic. Over at bleedingcool.com, Derek Kolstad, the mastermind behind John Wick, confirmed that Colin Farrell will star in the upcoming adaptation of Ordained. The story blends faith, redemption, and savage violence in a way that feels tailor-made for both of them. Kolstad's gift for gritty, character-driven storyline combines the Farrell's intensity should make this film worth watching. Farrell's career momentum hasn't slowed for a second. After The Batman and the Banshees of Inisherin, the next role cemented him as one of Hollywood's most versatile actors. The project sounds like the perfect mix for grounded emotion and explosive action, and fans are already calling it a phenomenal sleeper hit. Are you down for this combo? Drop a fire in the chat if you're ready for Farrell's next big role. But we're not done with the dark turns. Marvel's heading back into the symbiote territory. And then over at APT Comics, or AIPT Comics, they confirmed that King of Black is coming back, and Null's bringing 20 nullified heroes with him. That's right, 20 heroes twisted into nightmarish versions of themselves, dripping in symbionite darkness. This return dives straight into the cosmic horror that made the first event such a smash hit. Expect redesigned versions of Marvel icons like Vulcan or Venom, Thor, and Captain America as they fall under Null's influence. The creative team says this will dig even deeper into what happens when heroes are consumed by their own darkness, both literally and metaphorically. Which heroes do you want to see nullified first? I'm calling it now. Spider-Man's going to look insane. All right, now that we've got Cosmic, let's zoom back in on what's heating up this week in comics. All right, AIPT comic team, Ronnie Gorham, Lucas Chavo, and Collar Jennings, and David Brooks just dropped their Fantastic Five list, and it's a great mix. In fifth place, we got Immortal Legend Batman #3, which Collier Jennings says gives fans a new twist on an Elseworld-style Riddler story. Fourth place, we got Absolute Wonder Woman 13, praised by Dave Brooks for his stunning visual and emotional storytelling. And at number 3, we got Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion #5, which wraps up Miles Morales' time in Earth 6160 while planting seeds for Miles Morales Spider-Man 39 and the Ultimate 17. Number 2 goes to Green Lantern Dark. Number 7, with Lucas Shio highlighting its eerie New England atmosphere and perfect Halloween timing. And topping the list, we got Escape number 3 from Image Comics, where Rick Remender and Daniel Acuna deliver a bold, unapologetic story about fighting the war within. What was your favorite read this week? Drop it in the chat. I want to know what you're reading. And from comics on paper to legends on the screen, let's talk about Halo. And after 25 years, this is a little video game information here. But after 25 years as Xbox's flagship franchise, Halo is officially going multi-platform. And Masur Mahala, confirmed that Halo campaign involved a full Unreal Engine 5 remake of Combat Evolve, launches in 2026 on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 5. And this isn't just a remaster, it's a ground-up rebuild with new cinematic, enhanced visuals, and prequel missions featuring Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson. Following the transition of 343 Industries into Halo Studios, the franchise has switched to Unreal Engine 5 to speed up production and broaden development. A new multiplayer title is also rumored to drop the same year. It's bittersweet for longtime fans, the end of Xbox's exclusivity, but the start of a much bigger future for Halo. How do you feel about this move? Betrayal or bold strategy? Let's hear it in the comments. And speaking of bold moves, one DC director might just have his eye on some gold statues. Josh Wildling over at comicbookmovie.com reports that Warner Brothers Discovery and DC Studios are launching a full for your consideration Oscar campaign for Superman. The film grossed $616 million globally and scored 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. And Warner Brothers is pushing for Best Picture, Best Actor, David Cornsweet, Best Director, James Gunn. In the film, starring Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, and Nicholas Hoult, was praised as a beautiful, moving thriller that blends action, humor, and heart. Gunn says his grateful fans connected with the stories, compassion, and hope, something superhero films rarely get credit for. Even if major awards elude, the campaign cements Superman as a milestone for the DCU. Hey, I also think that Nicholas Hoult should get a nomination for his portrayal of Lex Luthor because he was just awesome. Do you think Gunn or Cornsweet deserved the Oscar nod? Drop your predictions below. And now, collectors, let's talk about some real heavy hitters from the CovrPrice Shakers Report. This is the Daily Shakers Report. All right. Today's CovrPrice numbers are wild. We got Incredible Hulk 181, which has been a staple on this list from 1974. The first full appearance of Wolverine in a CGC 9.6 just sold for $13,751. And then we got Venus 19 from 1952, and the CGC 3.0 came in at $6,600. And Mr. Mystery number 12 from 1953 and a CGC 4.0 hit $6,300. And Fantastic Fears number 5 from 1954 and a CGC 9.2 brought in $5,520. And then we got Weird Chills number 2 from 1954 and a CGC 8.5 sold for roughly $5,280. Then you got Astonishing number 4 from 1951 in a CGC 7.5 came in at $4,320. And Chamber of Chills number 23 from 1954 in a CGC 5.0 sold for $4,080. Followed up by Weird Tales volume 22 number 4 from 1933 in a CGC 3.5 sold for $3,720. And then you got DC Comics Presents number 26, a Mark Jewelers variant from 1980 in a CGC 9.8, sold for $3,250. And then we got Horrific number 1 from 1952 in a CGC 6.0, closing the list out at $2,880. We got Golden Age Horror is blazing hot right now, and the Mark Jewelers variants are still moving strong. Which one of these slabs would you love to own? Flex your grails in the chat. And all right, let's wrap things up with a few quick shout outs before we call it a night. This weekend is Comics Curing Cancer weekend. There's auctions going on all weekend long. We got a bunch of different sponsor or a bunch of different live streams going on with stuff, and we're about halfway to the goal of $55,000 that they're trying to reach. So, but here's the schedule for the rest of the weekend. So here we go. We're all right, that was the schedule for the Comics Curing Cancer event going on this weekend. Check it out. You can find them all on there. Support Comics Curing Cancer. Let's kick cancer's ass. Let's raise money, and we got all that. Next, I want to talk about every Sunday night. I typically do my Comics Curing or Comics Channel Origin live stream where I talk to comic book YouTube content creators about how they've grown their channels. This past Sunday, I met with Mike from Lunch Money Comics, talked to him about everything about how he's grown his channel from zero to where it is now. A great interview. Check that out if you haven't already seen it. I am taking this weekend off because of Comics Curing Cancer. There's going to be people watching all sorts of stuff, so just thought I'd like take it easy for this weekend. I'll be back next weekend. Also, please check out the channel sponsor, Ron's Comic Closet. If you use code I have issues at checkout, you'll get 20% off your first purchase with Ron. And also, all right, that's it for today, guys. Comic Issues Daily. Hit the like button. Drop your thoughts below. Share this with your friends and fellow collectors. And I'll see you next time. My name is Bryant, and I hope that all of your issues are comics. All right, have a good one.